What is going on, guys? We got a trade recap today for Tuesday, August 18th, and it has been a couple weeks since the last video, but I'm going to be back to daily uploads. And since it's been a while, these videos are probably going to take a little bit to get some traction again. But life's just been super busy, and obviously that's just an excuse. But went on vacation, just started school back up, I've had a bunch of meetings throughout these weeks, like in the morning. So there's been a lot of days where I haven't even been able to trade, which is why there's been a lack of videos. But we are going to be getting the ball rolling again, back in routine, back with the daily uploads and the daily market recaps, being as transparent as possible. This is what this channel is all about, and just documenting the journey. So I believe the last video was me blowing an eval on a statistical trade after half passing it the day before. So this was a brand new eval that I bought this morning and blew it this morning on what I deem to be a statistical loss. And the reason I originally took this break, as I mentioned, I've been working on my psychology, because your mental state is going to be the determining factor of how successful of a trader you are. That is why there's each and every trader that you might talk to, they trade the market and they see the market in a unique, different way than everybody else. So it doesn't really matter at the end of the day what strategy you use, as long as it makes sense to you and you have proven profitable statistics to back up that strategy, and you have your designated rules. It doesn't matter what strategy you're trading. What matters is what is between your eyes and what is up here. That is what's actually going to make you money and actually turn you profitable. And I've documented proof on this channel that that is the key, is mastering what is up here. And so I took time off because my mental state was getting a little fragile, and it was showing up in my trading, and it was causing me to, or not following my rules and being emotional was causing me to lose money. And so ultimately that's why I took a step away to try to reset, and I feel like I've done a good job of resetting. But like I said, as of recently, honestly, I really haven't been able to trade every single day, and just there's been a lot going on the last couple weeks. But we are back to daily uploads, and I'm just going to start off on a loss from this morning that is very statistical, in my opinion. It was off this 5-minute close below the internal low. So coming into the market, very obvious, clear bias. Well, first of all, high time frames, we are bullish. So high time frame wise, I'd want to see us eventually come up to this next daily buy side liquidity and eventually all-time highs. ES is at all-time highs as well. So high time frame structure is bullish in terms of like the daily time frame reacting out of this monthly imbalance. Coming into the morning though, if we're going to remain bullish and head up to this daily buy side liquidity, this 4-hour gap that was formed yesterday, I believe, or it looks like Thursday. I wasn't even able to trade yesterday. I don't know what happened. Looks like there might have been a good short down to this internal low here after wicking out this internal high. Wasn't even on the charts. Didn't look at the candlesticks for 1 second yesterday because I was traveling back home. But regardless, 4-hour chart, what do we expect if we want to continue higher with the high time frame trend? This 4-hour gap, this 4-hour BISI should hold and deliver price higher. So coming into the morning, overnight, we decided to run through this bullish 4-hour gap. So once we run through this with displacement and disrespect this 4-hour gap, what am I looking for? I'm just looking for a deeper retrace on the higher time frames. That tells me we're probably going to retrace a little bit deeper before ideally heading higher. But I'm not too worried about that part. All I'm worried about is right now it looks like we are heading lower for a deeper retrace because we have run through this 4-hour imbalance. And it makes sense. Why? Because we still have a big daily imbalance right here. It also makes sense to rebalance to equilibrium of the range, and because we have high time frame stacked lows right here as well and right here as well. So it looks good. And so coming into the morning, we're right here in price, and so the obvious draw on liquidity is just this high time frame daily swing low. It's a daily swing low leading to this daily swing low down here, leading to this daily imbalance and potentially a higher rebalance in the higher time frames. But I log into the charts. I'm actually sitting in class because unfortunately I'm taking an 8 a.m. class 2 days out of the week. So I wasn't even honestly planning to trade this morning, but I log into my phone just to check the charts to see what's up, and it's just the most obvious high time frame draw on liquidity. So I'm like, you know what? Bet I'm going to. I literally renewed my account on the spot, this 50K combine on the spot, and I was like, bet, like this is A plus draw on liquidity, A plus market conditions. We had already rebalanced to this 1 hour gap pre-market and took out this internal low. So coming into the market open on this dashed line, I am simply just looking for us to continue lower below these internal lows. And I want to see decent 15-minute candle closes below these internal lows in order to confirm to me that we are going lower. I already think we're going lower because high time frame wise, we have already rebalanced this 1 hour gap and are making our way down, but I want to see closes below these internal lows. You can see the first initial internal low off market open gets wicked out, so the new internal low becomes this you can see the 5-minute wick. The market open volatility creates this new internal swing low. We come up, market's kind of still deciding and digesting what it wants to do. Then we come back down, and I'm like, okay, bet 5-minute candle close below this new internal wick. I'm good to short down to this daily sell side because there's nothing stopping us and holding us back. We wick it out, end up rebalancing to this 5-minute gap, and my bias is still bearish because of all the reasons that I've just gone over. But now the only thing that's changed about this is, okay, we've put in a new internal low. We're putting in new wicks and we're failing to go lower. I want to see us close candles below this new internal wick now to confirm the move lower. And that's how I trade. That's how I have confidence. That's how I literally keep it as simple as possible. And as you can see, I get stopped out and we deliver to my TP. Now, ideally, the way that I trade, based off, if I'm taking a trade based off these 5, 15, sometimes 1 hour candle closes, I want to ideally be rocking a safe stop loss where the trade idea would be invalidated and have a risk to reward where I'm content with. So obviously, if you've been watching, my go-to bread and butter is to aim for that 1.2 RR trade because I know that like the win rate is so high on trades like this that all I need is a 1.2 to be very, very profitable. All you need is a 1.1, but if I'm setting a limit order, I will go for that 1.2 RR. And the reason I had my stop loss down here is because we put in this on the rebalance. We come down on the 1 minute chart, come back, rebalance to this one minute fair value gap, and put in this internal high here, and then got this displacement leg lower, which led to that 5 and 15. This was a 15-minute candle close here. I think it was an hourly candle close. No, it wasn't the hourly, but it was a 15-minute candle close as well, below 15-minute internal swing lows. Like, everything is literally confirmed. Had max confidence in this trade, but my stop loss was lower because we had put in this internal swing high and had already respected this 1 minute imbalance. So right here, we're moving with good volatility. We get this 5-minute candle close. And so what I do is I mark out equilibrium of this recent price leg down, and I'm expecting these new 1 minute gaps. You can see there's 1, 2, 3 1 minute gaps. I'm expecting these to hold. If my drawn liquidity is correct, I'm expecting these 1 minute gaps to hold, potentially tap equilibrium of the range, and to deliver price down to this daily sell side liquidity. But as you can see, we came up, hit my stop loss, and then delivered. So in my mind, it's a statistical trade because I had every right to expect that this was going to hold. In my opinion, I had every right to expect that these fair value gaps were going to hold, and that we'd go tap equilibrium and then deliver to the daily sell side liquidity. At the time of entering, that felt like a incredibly logical safe stop loss because it's above the most recent swing high. Now, one thing that I need to not back test, but one thing that I'm going to be forward testing going forward is, okay, if I'm taking the trade based off of a 5-15 higher time frame candle close, does my stop loss need to be all the way above that most recent high time frame swing high? And right now, I would say no. If I'm able to zoom in and there's a 1 minute swing high and we were to like this, like I would expect this high to be protected and hold if we're going to deliver to the drawn liquidity. And oftentimes zooming in to get a tighter stop loss like this is what allows me to get filled, because it's not always guaranteed that you're going to get filled in this scenario, right? We could have easily came up, tapped this 1 minute gap, we're moving with efficiency and just not even hit my limit order at all. So more times than not, like this actually benefits me and allows me to get into these trades. And also, a lot of times my stop loss goes just above the 5 minute candle body as well. You can see it was above these 5 minute candle bodies. Like this area and price should generally hold. But being zoomed in, I wanted to see where the most recent equilibrium was of this leg down, and it just made sense. It just made sense to put my stop loss above this most recent swing high, considering this was the displacement leg that I was basically entering off of. So that is something that I'm going to take note of. And one thing I want to get across in this video is this is the winner's mentality right here. Like I said in the last video, I've been reading, give me 1 second. I have been reading Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. This is the best psychology trading book that you will ever need. I've read it once before. I don't believe I finished it. This was a couple years ago. This hits home now more than ever. And this is a part of me rewiring, not even rewiring, because I know that I have the habits in place to be a successful, profitable trader because I have documented proof on this channel. But like I said, my emotions started to get away from me a little bit once I started to scale up accounts. Scaled up to 3 accounts, emotions started to kick back in, therefore leading to bad habits being formed. But one thing that I want to just get across, and I put this in the Discord chat, but this whole thing is coming from Trading in the Zone, and it is the most true thing of all time. Let me just read it. I said, it's honestly crazy how easy trading is when you're able to overcome your emotional ties to money. The market offers you an endless stream of opportunities for you to execute on as a trader. So whenever you become indifferent to the outcome of each individual trade, that's when you'll truly enter flow state. Guys, there's a reason that this channel is named Flow State Trades. You have to be in that flow state and emotionless if you actually want to make trading work for yourself. When you're in flow state, the golden opportunities start to flow to you without even having to think about the execution at all. That's kind of what I'm talking about. I literally logged onto my phone this morning, and it's just an A+ setup jumping out to me, playing out right in front of my eyes. So how could I not take it, even though I wasn't planning to trade this morning, because it was literally the first day of school for me. So I said, it's truly all about your mental state. You don't lack the knowledge. There's no missing piece. There's no missing piece you don't yet know about that's keeping you unprofitable. You watch all these gurus on social media, just hoping that you'll get some sort of information that you've been missing out on. There's no missing piece. There is no missing piece. Any and every strategy works if you have the psychology to make it work. All failure in trading comes down to your emotional state of mind and the ways in which you perceive the results of your trades. Your success or lack thereof is all because of you and you only, not anyone or anything else. But this is freeing because you have the power to change at any point in time for the better. So once you start to actually take responsibility for your actions and understand and admit to yourself that you are the reason that you are unprofitable right now, and it is because of only you, not the market, That gives you the power. That should be empowering. Once you humble yourself and take responsibility for every single action that has led to where you are right now in your trading journey. It is empowering because it gives you the power to change at any point in time for the better, to become a better trader. You can only do that though once you actually start to take responsibility for your actions. And the big thing that I want to get across here, because this is a perfect example in this trade recap, having a positive, profitable mindset allows you to execute on your edge, expecting a positive outcome, but being willing to accept that anything can happen at any given moment in the marketplace. I have this highlighted. This is the most important part. Having a positive, profitable mindset allows you to execute on your edge, expecting a positive outcome, but being willing to accept that anything can happen at any given moment in the marketplace. And any shortcoming is just an opportunity to improve and collect more data. Ultimately, everything is happening for you and not against you. This is the flow state profitable mindset. Applying this to today, I allowed myself to be open to the possibility of taking a trade. Golden opportunity was presented to myself, and I executed on it to the best of my abilities. Now, anything can happen in the marketplace. You can still get stopped out on an A+ trade. There is no such thing as a 100% win rate. There's literally no such thing. If you cannot take a loss, you will not be successful in the marketplace ever. End of story. If you can't handle a loss, pack it up and go get a 9-to-5 job. Close the charts. Don't ever open them again. This is a prime example of having a positive, profitable mindset. Executing on an A+ trade. I saw exactly what I needed to see to slap on confidence on this trade. Now, given that fact, anything can happen within the marketplace. And ideally, I trade to where if my stop loss gets hit, the trade is invalidated. I felt like this was a safe stop loss placement. But anything can happen in the marketplace. Okay? Anything can happen. Nothing is 100% guaranteed. And guess what? This is allowing me to improve as a trader and collect more data on my trades. And the reason I'm able to risk so heavy on these evals is because I know that with my strategy and the way that I'm trading and the way that has gotten me all these payouts, this strategy has an 80% win rate that I've forward tested over the past 6 months. Including today's loss. 10 statistical losses have occurred over the past 6 months with an 80% win rate. That's why I have confidence to risk the whole drawdown on these evals, because I know that once I get to the express funded account stage, that a payout is almost a certainty as long as I follow my risk management plan and follow my rules. I have confidence in this because I have proven profitable statistics. With that being said, just because I have the back-tested statistics and forward-tested stats to validate the way that I trade, that doesn't mean I'm never going to take a loss. So this video is already way too long. That's a market recap. But that's where my headspace is at, and this is how I'm rewiring the way that I think about trading. And it's so important because the way that you think about trading is going to determine how successful you are. It doesn't matter if you're thinking about trading and you're in a bad emotional state and you're still taking wins. You might be making money on the day, but that money is not yours, and it's going to be withdrawn. It's going to be taken from you later on in the future if you're not doing it with a positive, profitable mindset. If you're not doing it the right way mentally, ultimately all you're doing is digging a hole. It's going to come back to bite you in the future. So if you can just focus on the present, and I'm talking to myself when I'm saying this as well, just focus on the present and the future will take care of itself. The future will take care of itself. So it would be really easy to not make a recap today after having already taken time off, after, you know, taking a losing trade. It would have been really easy to not post it, but I'm back to daily uploads. I am back. I'm reinvigorated because this positive mindset, this flow state mindset is giving me the power. It gives me the power to be able to accept loss, but also knowing that the outcomes and the probabilities are in my favor on a long enough time frame. Law of large numbers. Keep taking profitable trades in the future, and the money is going to come as a byproduct eventually in the future. So that's the market recap, trade recap today. Yeah, I think I'm honestly going to go back to a stack of 3 accounts, because there's no reason not to. I have the stats to back it up. I have the mental framework to back it up. And the only reason I got psyched out and emotional before is because I was operating in a fearful mindset after that initial scale up. Because yes, at the end of the day, it is more money that you're allocating, but it's just a business expense. It's just a business expense. That's all it is. You have to buy accounts in order to make money from these accounts. And the ROI on these accounts is extremely, extremely high. So yeah, I wholeheartedly feel like there is no reason not to be. Like, I've let emotions break me down. I let it break me down. I let it get to my head. I started to become more emotional, a worse trader. It made me have to take time off and take a step back. But why would I continue to let that affect me now? Because if you're able to fully accept the risk, I don't know, that's just where my headspace is. At this point, I'm just rambling on, but back with the daily uploads. I'm excited to be back. I hope you'll have all been doing well if you've made it this far to the video. And this is the profitable mindset that you got to have, and it's the profitable flow state mindset that's going to allow me to flourish, to continue to flourish in the future. And it's all going to be documented right here on this channel, because that's what I do. So appreciate you watching, man. Who cares if they ended up in a loss if I did my best to execute? And like I said, it's giving me an opportunity. Strategy mistakes. This is something I'm going to backtest. If I have a zoomed in 1 minute protected stop loss on a 5-minute entry, how are these trades playing out? This is what's going to allow me to improve in the future. So yeah, man, that's all I got. Appreciate you watching, and I will see y'all tomorrow in tomorrow's market recap. Back at it. Peace.